First at 4, the battle for the White House from Michigan to Georgia to Alaska. There are new developments 4 days after a winner was projected. The former Michigan state senator facing the judge over an embarrassing showdown with his ex-wife. How this case finally came to an end. And here's Paula.
I'll take you to the front lines of Operation Warp Speed, the race to get a COVID vaccine to the American people, and introduce you to the local woman who is pivotal in pulling that task off.
Well, it looks a lot like yesterday, but it feels about 30 degrees colder in some spots. How much longer are we going to have to deal with this? We'll look at it for you coming up. First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, it may not change the outcome, but President Trump is still not giving up or giving in when it comes to losing the state of Michigan. We're getting our first look inside a new lawsuit the Trump campaign filed in federal court here in Michigan. Also today, the state of Georgia announced a full by-hand recount that will happen in the presidential race there. Right now, the projected winner, Joe Biden, leads by about 14,000 votes in Georgia. NBC News projects President Trump is the winner in the state of Alaska, giving him 3 more electoral votes. Right now, Kimberly Gill in the newsroom following the legal action here in our state. Kim.
Good afternoon, Karen. This is the second lawsuit the Trump campaign has filed here in the state of Michigan. The first, as you know, was dismissed by a federal judge last week, but the campaign is appealing that. This latest suit is against Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, the Board of Canvassers, as well as Wayne County. It includes 234 signed affidavits from people who claim to have witnessed widespread irregularities in Michigan's ballot counting, but it provides no evidence. Among the claims, allegations that Republican poll challengers were kept too far away to see ballots at the TCF Center, and allegations that ballots were backdated or run through tabulators more than once. The campaign only provided eyewitness accounts, and those allegations have been repeatedly denied by election officials in Detroit. The lawsuit also takes aim at Antrim County, where the Republican clerk did not update software there. It resulted in an error that appeared to show the Republican-leaning county casting the majority of ballots for Joe Biden. The issue was corrected. Today, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson was asked about the claims of irregularities.
In my view, we've overseen a really extraordinarily transparent, secure, accessible election with higher turnout than ever before in the midst of a pandemic. I appreciate the scrutiny. I recognize that it's part of the work right now, but I do hope that we can move forward once the truth is established in good faith.
The Trump campaign is asking a federal judge in West Michigan to stop the certification of results that contain fraudulent ballots. Our Grant Herms is reading through all of the claims, and he will have more coming up on the news at 5. Until then, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
A former state senator learns his sentence after pleading guilty to shooting at his ex-wife. Virgil Smith pleaded guilty to malicious destruction of property and reckless discharge of a firearm. As part of a plea deal, felony assault and domestic violence charges were dropped. Smith admitted to shooting at his ex-wife's car back in 2015 after an argument. The judge sentenced Smith to probation until next March. Detroit police hope these new photos will help catch the suspect wanted in connection with an overnight shooting. Investigators say this man got away in a green Dodge Durango. The shooting happened around 1 this morning in the area of 4th and 3rd Street. A 37-year-old man was standing outside when he was shot. He's in serious condition at the hospital. If you have any information, give Detroit police a call. We continue to see new surges. The coronavirus pandemic is surging in the state of Michigan. We did just learn the state is reporting more than 6,000 new cases in the past 24 hours. That's a few hundred less than yesterday. We've also seen an additional 42 deaths, also down from yesterday. Wayne County says its hospitals are running above 75% capacity. An increase to 80% could lead to restrictions on hospital services. Henry Ford hospitals are once again tightening visitor restrictions at all of its facilities. Beaumont did the same thing just 2 days ago. Well, we've all heard of Operation Warp Speed and its role in getting a COVID-19 vaccine distributed throughout the nation. But it's not a far-off, nameless, faceless operation. There are many people doing the actual work, and Paula Tutman takes us inside that effort with a local woman who's playing a pivotal role.
You could call this a high wire trapeze act with no net. The logistics involved in getting a COVID vaccine, once it receives emergency authorization use from the FDA, part of the team working tirelessly behind the scenes is civilian Marion Wicker from Warren. Her job at TACOM is usually moving hundreds of thousands of tons of tanks and military machinery and supplies around the world. But she is on loan to Washington, D.C. as the Deputy Chief for Supply, Productions, and Distribution to Operation Warp Speed.
Logistics is logistics, whether it is moving Army parts and building that infrastructure or doing it from a medical perspective.
Part of her task, pushing lots of tiny pieces around a chessboard of logistics.
We're helping build the infrastructure for those manufacturing plants that are making a vaccine. We're helping get the raw materials.
With the announcement from Pfizer Pharmaceutical that a vaccine is forthcoming, she's already on standby after approval from the FDA to receive some 20 million doses, of which between 8 and 9 million doses, along with coordinating needles, syringes, and other supplies, will be transported to administration sites around the country within 24 to 96 hours after the word go. And because a second dose is needed at 21 days, to repeat that drill.
One of the nice things about the vaccine is it will be no cost to the American people.
And because the current vaccine has to be stored at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit and at a sweltering minus 70 or even minus 60 degrees can impact the efficacy, part of Wicker's job is to figure that out too.
The vaccine is packed in with dry ice. On top of those boxes, inside of it is what we call a data logger. It will monitor the temperature. Pfizer will have a control tower watching it the whole way.
If there is a temperature change, the vaccine will be stopped in its tracks and taken offline.
While it's a little bit sad being away from your family, my family is extremely supportive, and being here and doing something that, you know, how many chances you get in life to help your country? And that's what we're doing here.
And because she has temporarily moved to Washington, D.C. and left her family to immerse herself in all things vaccines, she has seen the science. She's been able to separate the politics. She knows what's coming, and without question, she has faith in the process and the vaccine.
100%. My wife, my child, they can't wait.
Yeah, you know, it's important to note that there are civilians working alongside our military to keep us safe. Okay, so this is an info geek alert. I'm fascinated by this logistical stuff, particularly with this vaccine. And so, Karen, my partner, Justin DePrekel, has actually put together a bonus story on this so that you can actually learn more about this, as well as the family connection she has to COVID. And we're going to post that on our social media platforms. It is worth a look. I could listen to her all day.
She was really interesting in just the logistics on how they're going to be able to figure this out. It is very intriguing. All right, thank you, Paula.
Yeah, it is.
The current hurricane season has been filled with unpleasant surprises, and this is flooding from Ida's first strike at southern Florida. You can see the remnants there. Now it's heading to the state's Gulf Coast. In Broward County, some residents have tried to create makeshift pumping systems to fight the floods. So far, it's not helping much. The Tampa Bay area is the next target. The storm will make landfall in the state for a second time tomorrow. Ben Bailey following the very latest. And Ben, it's been an up and down day for the storm.
Yeah, it has. It got to hurricane strength at one point. Karen, is back to tropical storm status right now. But you mentioned Tampa. There it is. And it's getting raked by the actual outer bands. The actual core of Ida is still out here into the Gulf, and it is heading off to the north and northeast. So all those bands are going to spend a lot of time there up against the Gulf Coast of Florida. They're going to see plenty of rain, and then we'll finally see a landfall probably overnight, just after midnight, going into Thursday morning. And it's likely going to be just north of Tampa before it actually makes landfall, and then accelerates out into the Atlantic as we get through the next coming days. Rainfall will be a big concern there. Back home, it is beautiful out there, but man, does it feel different. Not record-setting in the least. It's all 40s out there right now compared to the 70s that we were looking at yesterday at this time. We'll be down into the 30s by midnight tonight. And we've got some chilly air in the forecast. There's a few flakes in there too, and we'll discuss all that in a few minutes. Karen.
All right. Thank you, Ben. The tense political situation hanging over the White House is also being mirrored with two presidential tributes this Veterans Day. President Trump and the First Lady attended a ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. It was the current commander-in-chief's first public appearance. Since Joe Biden was projected as the winner of the 2020 election, the president-elect and his wife placed 4 wreaths at a Korean War memorial in Philadelphia. Now, closer to home, we're seeing several virtual memorials and observations. We received this video from Macomb County at the Sterling Heights Community Center. In-person events have been put on hold because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This event included remarks from veterans and a 21-gun salute from the Sterling Heights Police and Fire Honor Guards. Still ahead, it is the home safety feature many of us have been racing to install, but now we're hearing about a fire danger for thousands of homeowners. We'll explain. Also, we'll talk about an international shopping frenzy. It comes with big discounts, which bargain hunters love, but you might find the backstory kind of sad. First, Pope Francis responds to a disturbing new report on sexual abuse and power in the Catholic Church. Big stories.